Hello. My name is Jack. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. We're playing some Satisfactory today. We're in the Beginner's Guide series, and this is episode 25. Completely blown my mind with the response to the tips and tricks video this week. It's by far the best received video I've ever made. So I feel very motivated, and I have spent so much time on this factory this week to try and get it done before 1.0. We'll see if that's even going to be a possibility with the scale of everything. It just takes so much time. But we will get into it and see what we can get up to. And from your perspective, there's no problem, there's no stress, there's no rush, no nothing. But from my perspective, I have essentially a week to do 3 weeks worth of progress on this factory. So I have really pushed and really rushed. Some of the stuff might not look perfect, but let's go ahead and place all the machines and see what that looks like. So as you can see, nothing's changed. Now, just kidding. If you're looking on the bottom, you can tell that's 100 and something 143 steel foundries. We have our 80 pure caterium refineries over here, and then instead of 34 wet concrete refineries, I put in 40, which is going to be maybe a problem, because of the water. Because each of these use 100 per minute, so it's gonna be for each of these sections it's 500 per minute, which means that it's using pretty much like one pipe and leaving like 100 for the next. So it's also gonna be a very complex logistics process down here to get everything set up. But yeah, what we have now is every single machine on the left side of the screen set up. So if I update this, we have 43 of these. They are done. These are done. That's gonna be 40 instead. Boom. And let's see, what does that make in total? Oh, sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. What? Oh, did I just... How do I do that? I thought when I just exited, it would... Okay. I'm figuring out new stuff. If you press escape out of this, instead of closing it, it doesn't save. Alright. Let's see. And they are done. Can I mark that down? Done. Done. Perfect. And if we count out now, we have 44 water extractors plus 410 refineries for copper plus 160 pure iron refineries plus 143 solid steel foundry plus 80. There we go. Pure caterium refineries plus 40 wet concrete refineries, putting us at a total of 877 machines in this factory. It is an insane number of machines. It is completely crazy. I have to cut up these beams. I have to kind of figure out what to do with that later as well. But yeah, like it is completely crazy. If this looks good, if you like this kind of stuff, remember to subscribe, because this is gonna be, there's gonna be more of this, but just with more circles. For some reason, I'm into circles right now for 1.0. And I really hope, I really hope that those of you who have enjoyed this series will come on over and check out the stream. At least come and say hi for a couple of minutes during the 1.0 release day on Tuesday next week, which is the 10th. If you like, I would like your advice on this. I don't really know when to start streaming. Should I start like at 4 in the afternoon for me? That's Central European Standard Time. Or would you like me to wait until the game is released? Which we don't know, but the guess is somewhere between 5 and 6 in the afternoon. That's basically it. I would like to know when you would like to start streaming. Do you want to just hang out with me for a little bit beforehand? Just chat about the game, what we're excited about, what are our plans, all of that stuff? Or would you like me to just start streaming when the game releases so you can see what you wanna see, so to speak? Please tell me down in the comments. And until then, let's keep going, because now that we have all the machines, the really, really big job, the hunk, the thing driving me completely insane, like I am Kibitz level insane here, is the logistics. It's the pipes and the conveyors and trying to fit everything in this cramped space. Like, what was I thinking making this space for both the concrete being fed and the steel being fed? What was I thinking? Either way, let's skip on over to the next scene. That's literally me 15 hours later, having worked on the logistics. And let's see what it looks like. As we can see, things have changed. I've added some exterior, some shape, and some all that visual goody to the factory. But there are some things we need to address. What that is I really don't have the time. After having gone through this, I don't have the time to finish this factory. My question is, would you like me to just keep going with the logistics and stuff to see how far I can get? Or would you like me to go, okay, just make it look good and focus on the visual and do the, like, connecting up? I want to make a dam that includes all of these, that kind of connects up with this. So it looks like it's part of the same general, like, structure. Do you want me to work on the interiors a little bit, do some lighting and stuff, and everything like that? Like, that's something I would like to know, what you would like to see, because after this episode, there's only gonna be one more episode in this series. Episode 26 comes out on Sunday. Would you like me to go more with the logistics and like how I've tried to solve the problem with too little space that I gave myself? Or like, what do you want to see? Either way, I'm happy to do either. I just need to know which one you would like to see. And with that said, let's check out the logistics, because it's a doozy. It's a... I have had headaches, and I have had migraines trying to figure this stuff out. So let's start from the top down, because that's how we've built the factory, right? So I've started making these spaces. This is where the output will go out into its train terminals over here. And then on this side, I decided to do this and go for the side and then move it over here to this end. So it's gonna have a space here. But that's the copper. That's the easy part. Because when you look at it, they have very small, like, you can connect up. You don't need that many belts. You don't need that many pipes. Like, I use one pipe for, I think one pipe can take 5. Yeah, there's one pipe for 5 that uses 500. of these. So it's like it goes down, and this is the fifth one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I could put a sixth one technically, but I haven't because I want to have that like security in terms of like we actually have enough water for everything. So I've been hella exact. So as you can see here, I have connected up this again. I talked about making like a V shape before. Turns out I can't. I need every drop of water at the bottom floor. So I have put in valves. I know it's not the best thing. It's the glitchiest thing, but I've put them in and I've connected them up and I've made them use 505, which is like, here's an extra percentage because floating point numbers be funny. And I've connected everything up and everything is working. All the math up here is correct. You can see on the sides, these are smart splitters and they run so and so. With this staggered, like I fill you back up with another belt over here. Like we've done this over with the plastic factory, we've done with the bauxite in the red factory. We have done this a few times at this point. And this, like I said, very simple, very few belts because the numbers for each machine is so low. So that's quite easy. And like it's this exactly the same on the next floor with one exception. If we go into the logistics floor, this isn't the logistics floor, it's down here, is we have 10 extra machines, which means that there's 100 extra water that needs to go in. So if you look over here, you've seen how I have just not connected up everything. Like I'm not taking anything from here, I'm not connecting up to anything anymore. I used to have a connection over here that went around and connected back in after its first connection over here. That's gone now because now this just uses 600 and the remaining, because of how I've set this stuff up, it's 505 that goes into these machines. The remaining 95 goes down. And the same thing here, 95 goes down, 95 goes down, 505 goes into the machines. That's the only difference here. This, like as you can imagine, just escalates the further down the line you go, in terms of like complexity and how much I need to keep track of numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, you can also see up here to make sure that I don't, like there's no mistakes or anything. I've also put in these valves here and I've made sure to split up. As you can see, there's no connection between, they have their own, like I've replaced the pipes to make sure that it works perfectly. And basically this is just a security measure so that there's no like extra water flowing down. It's gonna hit that and it's gonna back up so that the 505 up top gets filled faster. Which they would, otherwise they would wait until the bottom ones are like pipes are full and then back all the way up before they start filling up here. So this is a way of like making sure the machines start working faster. But yeah, that's the copper sections, the top two here. Then go down and we look at the what's it called, the iron. I haven't done all the logistics here yet. I haven't done the conveyors specifically. But I have done the water because the water has been the biggest job. Like you're distributing, what is it? You're distributing 13,200 water between something like, yeah, 600 machines, give or take, more than 600 machines. It's, yeah, a little bit over 700 machines. So it's incredibly minute and a lot of like nitpicky water distribution that you need to keep in mind. And for here, you can only run them on 3 because each line needs 200. So there's 200, and then you have 400 and 600, and then that belt's done, like, or that pipe's done. It can't do more. It's empty. And then I've done that same thing over here. But if you look on this side, we have some more complex stuff going on. So you have 200 going in, 200 going in, and then 200 going in. That's nothing weird. Next one, we have 200 coming in, 200 coming in, and 200 coming in. Nothing weird. Next one, however, that's where it starts getting weird. So we have 200 coming in, 200 coming in, 200 coming in. And it's like, wait a minute, there's another 200 we need over here. So what are we going to do with that? Well, what I've done is literally drag a single pipe the entire way that is only allowed to use 200, and then I've sent the remaining 400 down. And I have a similar setup on the floor beneath us as the one above, where I have just included taking care of the what's it called? Taking care of this. Oh no, I haven't put it in here, but there should be. I'm going to put in a specifically on this pipe then. There should be a valve that says 400. So if we go down and look at the monstrosity that is down here, you will see how I've messed around with all the different numbers and everything. So I've taken the full pipes here, the full 600 pipes, because there was a few left. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And I have used all of them except this one, pretty much, I think. Yeah, they are for the concrete. So what I've done here is like you take 600 and then you have 100, 100, 100, 100, leaving us 100 to go over to the next side. And that is over here. And I've put in a valve to make sure that there's no funkiness going on with the numbers going over here, so we don't send over 400 and these don't fill up properly. That's not going to happen. Instead, what I've done is I have taken the next pipe, sent that over, and it goes into a junction where here I'm sending 200 over, because remember, I only need 500. And this is already sending 100. So 100 goes in here. And then I need another 400 coming here from this pipe and going in. That's it. That's all I need. That's all, folks. And then on this end, I might actually need to put in a valve here as well, so that I actually do send 200 here. I just realized. But yeah, this is for troubleshooting later. But then I basically send 200 down here and it connects up over here where I send in another 200 and we get another 100 here. So 200, 200, 100 turns into 500 going into these machines, like from these full pipes over here. Because I have split this and it goes around like so. And then the valve here is actually connecting up and giving it what it needs to be the full 500 going down here. So this one's perfectly full. And then this one comes down and actually goes in here. You can see it's just sending 500 and then 100. So it's perfectly 500 for the second one here as well. So I don't have to bother with anymore. Then over here, you can see is doing a little bit of a thing. So I'm sending 400 over here going in because there's only 500 coming in there, or there's only 100. So that's 500 total because that's another full pipe. 600 going down and then 500 is being used in these machines, 100 left. And over here you can see I'm then sending the remaining, I'm sending 400, right? So I'm sending the remaining 200 over down this line, and it's connecting up and is being used in the Caterium line over here. Because each line here needs 240 to function. So that's basically what I've been trying to set up. And I started still being in the kind of the mind space of that stuff over there. It started out a lot more complicated over here than it necessarily needed to be, as you can see. But essentially there's 120 going in there, and there is like 120 over there. Like you can see, this is being fed with 240, but over here I'm feeding in 120, and then over here I'm feeding in another 120. It should be, yep. 120 is going in here, and then for the rest of it, going down, here's 240, 240, right? And then I grabbed the final if I've done this correctly. Yeah, this is the collection system where I'm merging the not full pipes. It's 490 or 95 in each of these, and I'm merging that up over here. They're being split, so 180 is going down there, 200 is going down there, and then up here it like merges to get us a full 240 there, and then it splits off down there and does the complex thing over there. Like, I'm just trying to use all the water because I have to. And then it's 95, 95, 95. It goes up here, it goes down, all the way down, and it is feeding the final pipe 240. And basically, it's a little bit of an overkill to like feed it 240 like from that all the way down there, but yeah, like it's the final machine. There's like a slight overflow, but it's not really, like, it doesn't really matter. And then the 400 here merges up with the 200 to become a full 600 pipe, so it's having its fun. Final, like, actually untouched full pipe comes in here, goes all the way down, and just splits up 240, 240, and just 120. Like, as simple as it can be. If you thought that was the complex stuff, you are kind of right in terms of the quantity of stuff. Now, the difficult part comes with the 780 belts having to move in the same amount, 240. So as you can see, I'm basically imagining everything coming in from this side. So from this end, you have a full 780. This is the main line. It goes down, 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 and then over here it is supplemented by this. Boom. And continues and feeds machines so that they get their 240 or 120 actually. Because I have the same setup over here, where you have a merger over here, but it goes all the way down to this smart splitter over here, where you will have one 780 belt of Caterium being fed in here, then one 780 belt of Caterium being fed in here, and one 780 belt of Caterium being fed in here, just to go a little bit overkill. I don't necessarily need to go with the exact number, the 1920 Caterium ore, because if I have 3 pure nodes of Caterium being fed into this, that's like 2,300 and something. So yeah, it's going to be fine. 2,340, I think. Yeah. The real killer in terms of space for all of this is the concrete. This is what needs to feed the concrete, right? And this is the main line for output, where I need to fit all the steel, all the concrete, and all the Caterium. Now the Caterium isn't that much, but the steel is a metric crap load of steel. 143, if we look at steel, we have 143 machines. This is the recipe, outputting 60 per minute. That's 60 times 143, 8,580. That is a crap load. 8,580 divided by 780 means we need 11 belts for that alone. In terms of the Caterium, now remember the number 11, right? 12 per minute is what we get out from the Caterium part, we have 80 machines running at full blast. So that's 80 times 12. That's 960 divided by 780. So that's about 1.25 more belts. So we're looking at a total of 13 belts so far that I need to fit here. And then we have the concrete, which is 40 belts or 40 machines. Concrete. There we go. There we got the concrete. Wet concrete is 80 per machine per minute. So if we take 80 times 40, that's another 3,200 divided by 780. That's another 5 belts. So what we're looking at in total at the end of this is 18 belts that I need to run down the middle here. Each foundation fits 4 belts on one level, and I can double that up to get a little bit more space. But the second I start pulling anything in that might interfere with this, I'm in trouble. Because then I have to go vertical and like fit stuff in and under, and I have to look at, okay, how do I run that line down here so that it actually feeds properly and like all that kind of stuff. So the idea was generally, I'm just gonna feed it through here. I'm gonna try and like stack it up as high as possible and make sure that I have the floor free for all the all the steel stuff. And because this, like, there's 13 machines here, because that's the amount that feeds one belt in the output. So that's 13 machines going out, and then over here it has to somehow, don't ask me how, I have to make that come out and go like above all of this, probably to the side here to make it somewhat decent, and go over here, all the way over here, and then over here it's like you have 2 outputs. So, and in some places 3. As you can see over here, there's 3 layers to this in some places. That's an insane amount of logistics to keep track of, or rather, keep track of, no problem. It's fitting it that is the problem. Because I did not give myself enough space, the pillars are in the way, so I can't expand out here the way that I've done over here. I gave myself a lot of space over on this side, but I can't fit 8 belts here. Like, I could run the concrete here and then go down here, but I can't fit 8 belts here. Like, just not doable. So what I've ended up with is having to run it here, which is also interfering with feeding the steel machines, which, like, to be fair, I kind of have fed them. Like, they are all here, and this is no problem. The problem is that in each segment, there's 13 machines in this blueprint. 13 machines that, if we go back to looking at the steel ingot, right here, each of them needs 40 iron. Where am I gonna get that iron from? The upper floors. And then I have the 40 coal. I have to think about how to move that down in a nice way as well, in an organized way. And then you have 40 coal. So if you look at the coal and that, you can take 780 divided by 40, meaning I can feed 19 machines. So each segment has 13 machines. So if we take 19.5, that's not correct, 19.5 divided by 13, that means I feed 1.5 segments, which means that if I feed this segment, right, no problem, That's one. It ends here. And then the next one starts over here. I feed this part. And then over here, what I do is this. Right? So now somehow I have to move iron and coal here so that it connects up, but does not interfere with the output of 2 more layers. Without clipping or like crap over here. So what you can see is I have made a bit of a problem for myself. And I don't know how I can solve that by Sunday. That's my problem. Like if I had, like before, I had an unlimited time, just make the series, I would have just like ripped out the walls and stuff and redesigned this side to give myself more space. I just don't know if I can do that. I might try it. I might actually add that in today because I really want to finish this. Like, I feel like that's a promise I made to you guys, and I really want to keep it. But I have to have this video edited and done in about 2 hours. And I have to cook lunch. I'm already late with cooking lunch because I'm recording this essentially. I don't know. I don't know what to do, and I need your guys' help. And like, I think for the first time in this series, I am properly stumped as to what to do, and I don't know. And I need you guys to tell me what you guys are okay with. Because I just want you guys to be enjoying watching the series, learning stuff, and being entertained, and seeing some cool shit, and being inspired, and have a good time. Like that's all I want to do. And at this point, I feel like I might fail you guys, and that's terrifying to me. So I would love your guys' help to figure this out. All right, we are back, and I have had lunch and stuff like that, and as usual, my adorable partner, he pointed out some stuff to me, and helped me, because I was feeling quite down with not being able to do all the stuff. So I literally like changed my perspective a little bit, went into it, and I decided to change up some stuff with the logistics. I decided to just push forward. I would still like your guys' opinions on like what you would like me to focus on for the final video, visual or logistics. But I should be able to finish the internal logistics here, like making sure that all the conveyor belts are being fed out, all the conveyor belts that are going into the factory are being fixed and everything. Just not sure if I'll be able to start feeding the factory and turn it on with the rail lines and all that kind of stuff. So if that's what you want me to focus on, getting the rail lines up and running and feeding the factory, I will do that. And if you want me to focus on the visual aspects, I will do that. If you don't want me to focus on the visual aspects, I will just leave it pretty much as is, like this, which isn't bad. It's just like very naked. Like there's not life added to it. There's no, like, you can see if you just go like this and look at the level of detail up here, then you look at the lower half, and you look at the level of detail down here. This is a lot more barren, guys. What should I focus on? Leave it down in the comments. Either way, I fixed the logistics for the concrete, so now all the concrete is being fed over here instead. I realized those pillars, I don't have those over here. So I could just expand out here a little bit, and then I did like a split here instead, freeing up all of the stuff that was here before is gone now. So now I am feeding the 1.5 here, and I'm gonna feed the 1.5 over here, and it's like 1, and a half. So after this, belt goes bye-bye. And then you have 1. Yeah, and like 1.5, 1.5, 1. So I'm just gonna keep doing this, and this is gonna be for the next episode either way. And I'm going to finish the internal logistics. It's more like, should I do with the railway and like all that kind of stuff, and start like pulling in a bunch of iron and copper and limestone and coal and stuff, and start feeding the factory and start using, like, well, not using it. I won't have time for that, but actually have it like pump out a few resources. That's going to be down to you guys whether or not I do that. But for now, I thank you so much for all your support. I'm sorry I went a little bit negative there, but a little bit Debbie Downer there, but I am 100% going to do my best to make sure that we leave this series in a good place. And then I will see you guys in episode 26, aka the final episode. Until then, have a great time. Like, subscribe, leave comments, and if you really want to go above and beyond, check out channel memberships or the Patreon. I only have 1 tier on there as it stands right now, because I don't have a lot of stuff to offer that's gonna come down the line. We're aiming for that 1,000 subscriber milestone so that I can get the full monetization on the channel and stuff like that. But until then, I am just going to keep making videos that I hope you guys like. See you in the next video. Bye!